You are Locked On Eagles Postcast, part of Locked On Sports Philadelphia, on the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day.
That's right. It is the Locked On Eagles Postcast. Jason Martinez, Harry Mays. I'll take ownership of the Eagles this week. Give them to me. All good. We've got a lot to discuss. Today's episode is brought to you by Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, use the code LOCKEDONNFL for $20 off your first purchase. And there's tons to discuss, the quarterback, the second half, and tons more. But for the Insta reaction, let's go to the man right now. There he is. It's H-Man. Instant reaction on this one, Harry. This one was not boring.
No, it wasn't. This was a very entertaining football game.
Yeah.
And, when you first started and the Bengals took control of the ball and basically had it for 10 minutes, I believe, on that first drive in the first quarter and got 7 out of it, you're thinking, oh, my, like this, what are the Eagles going to do to respond? And it took them a little while to really sort of get into the game. But that possession at the end of the first half, I thought was huge. They got the ball coming out in the second half, scored again. And then, their defense made a couple of big plays. We're going to talk about all this stuff. But I thought it was obviously their best performance yet this year. They really seemed to come together in this second half as a football team, both offensively and defensively. And I thought the offense was surgical. I really did. I mean, they were surgical, and they were so good at executing what they were trying to run today. And the defense made big plays. I mean, Fangio was aggressive. He was blitzing guys, and that Bengals team has got a lot of weapons. I know they were down T. Higgins, which is a big loss, but man, Jamar Chase, he's like an A.J. Brown. I mean, they're very similar in what they can do and how you got to defend them. And Gesicki was a machine with making catch after catch, it seemed, for first down after first down. But, the Eagles found a way. And I'll tell you, this is a really impressive win. It ended up being a blowout, on the scoreboard. It really wasn't until midway through the fourth quarter, they really pulled away. But very impressive win and a surgical offensive performance. The quarterback did not turn the ball over again.
He was really good today.
He was good. He was really used his legs really well today. And I'm not talking about the tush push stuff. I mean, he made a couple of good runs, quarterback keepers, and he was really good. Great win.
He looked back into couple of year ago form for me. And it wasn't just the way he executed the game. That's a big part of it. But to me, it was just the way his body language, everything. He looked like he was in total control. And look, they didn't score in the first quarter again. Like you said, Cincinnati had the ball for almost the entirety of it with that long drive.
It's unbelievable.
It is crazy. And in this case, it's an anomaly.
Right.
But the fact of the matter is this: we're gonna give the quarterback his props ad nauseum in this postcast. Yeah. But I got to give the coaching staff a lot of credit across the board, because I thought that they came in today prepared. They never got away from what they wanted to do, even when the game was really tight, and it was tight in that first half. Mm-hmm. I thought they stuck with their plan. They scouted it. They strategized it correctly, and knowing eventually they'd execute it. And one of the things we look for is how a team responds in the second half after coaches make adjustments. They were unbelievable in the second half.
Yeah, they really were. And I agree with Charles Davis. First of all, it's nice to get a good broadcasting crew this week. Ian Eagle and Charles Davis, some guys I can listen to. And I know people bitch about Charles Davis because he talks so much, but he's always giving you something. It's always good information. So I have no problem with it. But the play where they went for it on 4th and 1 at their own 37, Davis is right. That was a desperation move. That was like the Cincinnati staff looking at one another saying, hey, Eagles are going to score when they get the ball. Like they were at that point where they were like, we got to score. At this point, I mean, you don't go for it there that early in the game with that much time left in the game, and they did. And what a play by Cooper DeJean, the rookie, stepping up behind the line of scrimmage, a tackle for loss, bringing down Jamar Chase, who is a tough tackle. Yeah, and that was really, to me, that was the play of the game.
There were a couple of rookies that really stepped up today for the Eagles, and to me, that's another sign of coaching, Harry. When you got key members, 2 offensive linemen out, right?
Yeah,
you got key injuries, and how you prepare those guys to step in. And how and that also goes to play calling, strategy, and all that.
And Slay went down in the second half.
Yep.
And then that's where what's his name? Isaiah Rodgers, who remember they got last year from the Colts in a move that kind of went up below the radar by Howie Roseman. He was suspended for I think he was gambling or something.
Yeah.
And he was gambling. And he was like, on the shelf. Howie makes a move to go get him just to stack, like a reserve corner.
But his value was depressed.
Right. You can't have enough of these guys, right,
Nope.
in this league with the way they throw the football. He comes in for Slay, who's down with the groin, and makes the play on Jamar Chase. Again, deflects the ball, and Gardner Johnson right into his midst for an unbelievable turnover. It was terrific.
I was because I don't even know how the game can slow down enough as fast as the NFL is to be able to, it was almost like he batted it to him on purpose.
I know. Yeah,
he kind of bats it towards the middle of the field.
It was like something they work on in practice or something. You're thinking like a tip drill or something.
But it's never going to happen in a game, right?
No,
that's never going to happen. What are you guys even screwing around for?
Right. And Devonte Smith, who's been kind of silent for the last couple of weeks since coming back from the injury, since the bye week, made some big plays in this game. And it got off to a slow start again, with him. But man, did he come up huge with of course the bomb touchdown. What a throw from Hurts on that play, man.
And tremendous the way he tracked it in though too.
Yes.
Oh,
and held on to it as he's going down into the back of the end zone, got the feet in and didn't bobble the ball and all that. That, and then you got on the next possession after they took the 24-17 lead, Brandon Graham makes a huge play and stuffs Zach Moss, the running back, on 3rd and 1. That produces the 4th and 1, and that's where Cincinnati got desperate. They went for it, and Cooper DeJean makes the tackle behind the line of scrimmage. That was just huge.
And that shortened the field. That's when the Eagles really kind of grabbed the game by the throat.
They got the field goal on the next possession. That was where Hurts lost his shoe or had to go change shoes.
Because of the knot.
He comes off the field and then comes back on with 2 different colored shoes.
Yeah.
They got the field goal, went up 10, and then Isaiah Rodgers made the great play, and they got the ball back again and then scored, and the game was over.
Speaking of shoes, the guy with the bright shoes is A.J. Brown. He didn't get off to a slow start, Harry.
No.
He is an absolute animal.
Yeah, he is.
And he's that security blanket. He just seems to be able to find soft spots in coverage. And if he's got to go up for a 50-50 ball, he can do that equally as well because he's so friggin' strong.
Yeah.
I thought he was unbelievable. And when you have these 2 wide receivers, the complementation of receiving and running ability from a guy like Saquon Barkley, and when they get Goddard back, this team looks like it's coming together a little bit.
They do, but that's Calcaterra made a bunch of plays today.
Good plays.
I mean, he was as effective as a Goddard has ever been. I mean,
blocking as well, Harry, sealing the outside. Yep.
And Stoll too with the blocking. He made a big play too, and then got hurt, came back, and everybody's like freaking out. My God, they're down to 1 tight end. But then he was able to come back in the game. So they're getting everybody stepping up. Guys are being, pushed up the depth chart, if you will, with the injuries and the offensive line. I think this Fred Johnson guy has done a terrific job filling in for Mailata at left tackle, man. I mean, you don't hear him getting called for penalties.
False starts, none of it.
False starts, all that kind of stuff. He's been terrific.
If you don't hear his name, he is doing
his thing. That's right.
Especially at left tackle. And sure as you know what, that they're targeting him because it's not Mailata.
Right.
Unbelievable
job. Real
good
job.
Again, to me, that speaks. Look,
Coaching.
Sirianni catches a lot of it around here, and sometimes deservedly so. Sometimes maybe not, but getting his team prepared for this game. I thought that you were going to get a really desperate Cincinnati team today. They've been bad at home, 0-3.
They're 0-4 now at home.
Yeah, they are,
which is crazy.
But I thought this is like an inflection point or pivot point for their season, like which way they're going to go. And Burrow's obviously fantastic.
Oh, he's terrific.
Yeah, and to go in there and do what they did today, I just got to give the coaching staff a lot of credit here. And that is Sirianni. That was Kellen Moore. That was Vic Fangio. They all did a really good job.
Yeah, they did. And you talk about those offensive linemen, though. Stoutland doesn't get enough credit for the work that he has done with these O-linemen over the years. I mean, he's been here for how many years? And every year they're like consistently one of the best offensive lines in the league.
Yeah, Trey Thomas, if he could have another kid, he would name the kid Stoutland. He loves that guy.
Yeah, he should.
He preaches the gospel of Stoutland as much as he can. The stat line on Hurts, just from just kind of looking at it at first glance, it doesn't blow you away.
No, I know.
Other than that, he's 16 to 20 for 236,
right?
11.8. Didn't take a sack.
That's efficient.
But it's also a 132.5 rating.
Right.
He was
didn't
more
take
than
a
efficient
sack and didn't turn it over. And how many rush yards did he have?
He ended up on the game, and they were very important rush yards, 10 for 37, and 3 touchdowns.
Right.
Were they all 3 tush pushes?
Well, I think they might have.
The last one was too.
Yeah, because they had the one that they had to review where he kind of stuck the ball.
I didn't think that was in. I
did. Well, when I saw it the second time, then I'm like, that might have been in. Then they went to commercial, and I'm starting to see people on X saying, "Oh, it's touchdown." I'm like, man, that's a heck of a review. But yeah, I mean, he's so strong. I mean, it's unbelievable, and it's a big risk to put the ball out there.
Because if you don't get over the line and it gets knocked out,
you get punched out
for grabs.
Easily. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, all said and done, just an incredibly efficient performance. So 1 touchdown through the air, the one to Devonte Smith, which was an unbelievable throw and catch. That was a 45-yarder. And then you look at the 3 touchdowns on the ground. An unbelievable day for Jalen Hurts. It really was. Even though Saquon in the first half didn't see – he had some good runs. Mm-hmm. But they went to him to salt the game away, and he did exactly that. We'll talk about Saquon coming up. We'll talk about some more elements of the defensive side of the ball and just how many different guys had catches today. All that coming up. Stay tuned. Harry is going to tell you about Prize Picks right after this.
That's right, Jason. Prize Picks is the best way to win real money this football season. Which players are going to go off? Which ones aren't? Make your picks in less than 60 seconds and turn your sports opinions into real money all season long on Prize Picks. They're the America's #1 daily fantasy sports app, too, with over 5 million active members at Prize Picks. It's the easiest and most exciting way to play daily fantasy sports. And unlike the other apps on Prize Picks, it's just you against the numbers. All you do is pick more or less on 2 to 6 player stat projections and watch the winnings roll in. You can now win up to 100 times your money on Prize Picks with as little as 4 correct picks. And they also put their members first. So all withdrawals are fast, safe, and secure. I get my money in as quick as 15 minutes. In Prize Picks, they invented the Flex Play, which means you can still cash out if your lineup isn't perfect. You can double your money even if one of your picks doesn't hit. Now, Prize Picks offers weekly promotions that can lead to big payouts like Taco Tuesday. Each Tuesday, Prize Picks discounts select player projections up to 25% to provide even more value for your lineups. Just download the Prize Picks app today and use the code LOCKEDONNFL and get $50 instantly when you play $5. That's the code LOCKEDONNFL on Prize Picks. Get $50 instantly when you play $5. You don't even need to win to receive the $50 bonus. It's guaranteed. Prize Picks, run your game.
All right, that's going to wrap up October football for the Philadelphia Eagles. This win over the Cincinnati Bengals as the Eagles go into Cincinnati and get a win, and they kind of push the pressure right to Washington. You're off to a good start, but can you keep up?
Right. They got a big one right now against the Bears, and then, of course, the Giants take on the Steelers. That's Monday Night Football, I believe. And then tonight is the Cowboys and the Niners, and the Niners are banged up.
Yeah.
They have a lot of big injuries, so that'll be an interesting game.
So all said and done, Harry, Saquon on the day, 22 runs, 108 yards, a 4.9 average, 19 is his longest run. But on the day, he had a catch, too, for 3 yards. Didn't need him today because of the way it broke down. Used him at the right time to put the game away. But even he wasn't kind of the feature today. We knew he'd be the feature against the Giants last week. I thought he still had some really big runs, in particular in the beginning of the second half. He had some big 8-9 yard carries.
Yeah, well, he had that big 19-yard run too on the drive that eventually led to the Eagles going up by 17 in the fourth quarter. That was huge. But yeah, I mean, you say they didn't need him. They didn't need to sort of lean on him. Like maybe in a couple of games in the past. And that's good because they were all around. Everybody was getting involved. Like we were talking about Calcaterra. What's his stat line?
He had 3 catches for 58 on 3 targets.
Right. I mean, they were all really effective, in nice plays.
And a 28-yarder.
That's right. That's right. And, just it was just all around. I mean, you had Devonte Smith, who we said has been kind of absent for the past 2 games, and came in here. And what's his number? What did his numbers end up?
He ended up leading the team actually in receptions by a mighty yard. 6 catches on 7 targets for 85, and obviously the 45-yard touchdown.
Okay, but then those other ones are always ones where he's converting first downs.
Yeah, I thought he was slippery again. Where there was one where he loves to hook to the middle.
Mm-hmm. He hooked like a slant. Like a slant. Yeah.
And there was another one that ended up being a penalty that got taken away because of the personal foul, I guess, for after the whistle.
Well, an offensive lineman came in to knock a guy off of him or something.
Yep, exactly. And that ended up taking that catch away. But, yeah, I thought he was really good in the game. And, look, if you're going to get 6 catches from Devontae for 85, 5 catches from A.J. Brown for 84, 3 catches for close to 60 yards from your tight end. In this case, Calcaterra. Stoll had 1 catch on 1 target for 6 yards, and Saquon had 1 catch. If you're going to be able to spread it around like that, and Barkley's going to, or rather Hurts is going to be as efficient as he is, I mean, the only thing I can think of is that this team is coming together right now.
Yeah, I thought this was a really good effort against what I think, despite their record, I still think Cincinnati's a pretty good football team.
Yeah,
they got a great quarterback. One of the great wide receivers. I can't understand how they're 0-4 at home, but this is a win, again, a quality win. I mean, the last 2 weeks, both of these teams had beaten the same 2 teams, which is kind of weird. Yeah. Cleveland and the Giants, and nobody gets any credit for beating either one of those teams. Yeah. You got to wipe the floor with them, and the Eagles did with the Giants. Last week we had a rock and share ride, but the Browns game was kind of ugly. You got to win ugly games in the NFL. But bottom line is, this week the Eagles deserve a lot of credit because this is a really good win on the road.
But I remember sitting here, Harry, after that the Cleveland game and playing the Browns and just eking it out, and Sirianni kind of getting into it with a fan at the end of the game and bringing his kids to the press conference. And we were like, "Where's this team going?"
I know,
But since that time, what they've done is they went into the New York, or they beat the Giants, went into New York, and beat the brakes off them. They did exactly what they were supposed to do. Then they went in today, and I thought was a tough spot in the schedule for them, and they go in and they beat Cincinnati handily with a very complete performance. And as our commenter here, SL8820 says, the most complete win today. They look like a cohesive team. Winning big always helps, but they had fun today. Love the designed QB keepers. Keep it rolling. I agree. I love the way that they used the QB out of the shotgun and following Saquon.
In the red zone there. When you get Jurgens leading the way, sort of like Kelsey used to.
Up the middle.
I'm not going to say like Kelsey yet, but similar to what Kelsey. And then Barkley coming in there with a nice block. That was a great play.
Yeah,
and then
really
the other play, what was the other play where they had all 3 receivers to the near side, okay? Yep. And you had Saquon in the backfield, and Hurts ran for the touch. It was a 7-yard run. He rolled to the right side, and Calcaterra was out there blocking.
That's where he sealed it.
Yeah, all by himself.
Yep.
Against like a
bunch formation was on the right.
Correct. Yeah, That was a really good play, good design, and really good execution. That's what I was so impressed with today. Is they really executed today. They didn't turn the ball over. They turned Cincinnati over a couple of times when Cincinnati was getting desperate, and they just made every play they needed to make.
Yeah, and they had some penalties in the game.
Not many.
Yeah, I mean, like we just talked about the one where, a little added exuberance, if you will, to take away that Devonte Smith, and you're trying to push your guy to get more yards and get a first down. Andrew Smith chimes in and says, the best Hurts has looked all year. Gun game was solid. Good game all around. Yeah, out of the shotgun today. If he's going to play like this, and look, when he got the contract, I wasn't sure after last year and the way things fell apart where he was going to go. We've seen quarterbacks come into this league, be great, and then fizzle out. Just look back to Carson Wentz, right, when he got the money and where that went. And it made me a little nervous, but the way that he's kind of gaining control here, and this last 2 years, look, I feel good where they are right now, and I think it portends well to where they're going.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you talked about if there a nitpick that we could make today, I would say would be the third down defense, especially in the first half. More in the first half.
Didn't they have 8 straight third down conversions?
They did. I think they did 7 or 8.
That's
and
sick.
They did. They were 10 of 13 on the day. Cincinnati's offense was on third down.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the one nitpick I'll make. Gesicki was killing them on third down, and of course Jamar Chase is really tough. But hey, they got by without having a great performance defensively on third down. The Eagles themselves were 6 out of 11 as an offense. That's pretty good.
I just shed my Penn State pride during the game with Gesicki.
Oh yeah,
from last night after they beat Wisconsin, and Gesicki's going all over the place in this game. I'm going, geez, come on, man! You're drafted by, I think he was drafted by Miami in the second round.
Yeah, he was
back in 2018. So, I mean, I'm watching him going, I like the Penn Staters to do well, but not today. He was all over the place, and he's more a tight end than a receiver, and he was doing it against D-backs.
Yeah, he was. And that's another thing Charles Davis pointed out. It's like, without T. Higgins, they were sort of using him as kind of a wide receiver.
Yeah.
Getting him on, not on linebackers. They were getting him on safeties, defensive backs most of the time. So, it's hard to believe he's been in the league 7 years already.
It's crazy. I feel like he was playing at Penn State 2 years ago.
Yeah. And how about the Eagles chants, the EAGLES?
Oh, they were
busting out all around the stadium in that second half.
Unreal. Coming up, we're going to talk. We're going to about some game balls, and I don't really know a player that doesn't deserve one after this game and the way the Eagles conducted themselves today and accounted for themselves. But we'll also have some commentary on the Bengal uniforms. We'll get Harry's thoughts on those disgusting-looking things.
Oh, I loved them.
Of course.
Oh, I loved them.
All right, all that and more coming up right after this. All right, let me tell you about Game Time. We just had Game Time. But Game Time can apply to so many different things. Download the Game Time app, create an account, use the code LOCKEDONNFL for $20 off your first purchase. Terms do apply again. Create an account, redeem the code with LOCKEDONNFL for $20 off. And what is it? What is Game Time? Well, we know what Game Time is, but the only ticketing app that gives you complete peace of mind with your purchase. You can filter only incredible deals on great seats with Game Time Picks, see the view from your seat with the Game Time Picks app, and you can also, all-in pricing shows your total cost up front. That's important. Buy tickets in seconds with 2 taps. 2 taps, 2 tickets. Thank you. So many ways to save money on tickets no matter when you buy. And Game Time Picks show you the best values on tickets. Last-minute deals right up until the start of the event. Sometimes you fret, should I go? A couple of my boys are going. Let's jump in and go. Well, get the Game Time app. Even after an hour after it starts, you can join up. I never even heard of that great option. Exclusive flash deals and sponsored deals on tickets for football, basketball, baseball, your favorite concerts, comedy, theater, and so much more. Zone deals where you pick the section, and then Game Time will pick the tickets for even bigger savings. It's the Game Time guarantee. You'll always get the best price, and you'll find tickets in the same section and row for less. Game Time, and if you can't, Game Time will credit you 110% of the difference. Plus job loss assurance as well. If you lose your job, you need a refund, it happens. Game Time has got you covered. Event cancellation protection, automatic full refunds for events that are canceled and not rescheduled. 24-hour returns guaranteed. It's Game Time ticket app. It is a fantastic deal. They love our fans, and they're committed to ensuring you have outstanding experience with Game Time. Our team, they're proud to offer most flexible customer service, so get the Game Time app today and get Game Time ticket coverage. All right, it is the Locked On Eagles postcast. Harry, we could give out game balls to everybody, but if you're giving out one on the offensive side of the ball, does it automatically go to Jalen Hurts for you?
No, I'm going to go Devonte Smith for
the bust out.
You could always give it to the quarterback when he doesn't turn the ball over and the team wins, and he runs the ball well. But I'm going to go Devonte Smith because he kind of reemerged this week in this game, and it's something that they definitely need. Is both of these wide receivers, doing things, not just A.J. Brown. And I thought, especially in that second half, he really emerged and made some big plays, none bigger than the big bomb down for the touchdown. So I'm going to go Devonte Smith.
On the offensive side, I'm going to give it to Kellen Moore.
Okay.
I thought that the play calling was excellent in the game. Mm-hmm. I thought that they really kind of hit the right play call at the right time for the most part. And then, By the way, did Lane Johnson come back after he crawled off the field?
Yeah, he was only out, I think, one play.
Are you kidding me? Guy had to crawl off the field.
Yeah, I know.
I made me nervous.
I know.
On the defensive side of the ball, where are you going here, Harry?
Well, I kind of hinted at it at the beginning of the show. I'm going Cooper DeJean for stepping in there and making a huge play at a huge time that I thought really changed the direction of the game. I mean, if Cincinnati makes that first down there, who knows what happens?
Yeah, it could get real uncomfortable.
Right. I mean, he's a rookie coming in here, against a big-time player, one-on-one in space, and made the play. I'm going to give it to the Rook.
Yeah. I mean, I look on the defensive side, and they actually threw some pressure. They actually blitzed a good bit today. They only got home one time. I thought Burrow was excellent at escaping and using his legs. And
Nolan Smith had a sack early in the game, the first quarter, I believe.
And it was a big one.
Yeah.
But
lost 12.
Yeah. And I thought that, Burrow's not known for his running like Jalen Hurts is. But I thought he was incredible when he escaped the pocket.
Oh, he was.
He was finding guys down. I'm just going, what is going on?
Well, especially the play. It was a couple plays after Nolan Smith made that sack, because it was 3rd and 22. And in their own end, and Burrow rolls to the right, and he's being pressured. And all of a sudden, just before he goes out of bounds, he finds Gesicki and makes the big play. They got the first down.
Down the left sideline.
Or the right sideline.
Or right sideline.
Yeah. Yep.
Gesicki was all over the place.
And they ended up having to settle for a field goal because Slay made a big play on 3rd down for the Eagles.
We'll hear about that all week, I'm sure, on his social media channels.
Oh, yeah.
I'm going to give my game ball to Zach Bond, though. Again, 8 solo tackles.
He's everywhere.
Dude got a nose for the ball. He's just always on it.
Yeah.
I think we could give him if the Eagles win, I think you give him a game ball every week. He's probably going to lead the team in solo tackles. Nakobe Dean had a good day too, Harry. He ended up with 7 and 9 total tackles in the game. So I thought he was good. And Blankenship was on it
Blankenship. Today. He's made a couple of big plays.
The way he took the arm away from the receiver on the one.
Yep.
And the Eagles did a really good job against Moss in that run game.
That was on Gesicki. Blankenship made that play. It was a 3rd and 7 play, and he came up from behind, timed it perfectly,
boom,
and then chopped down on the arm. So and then they had to kick a field goal, and they missed the field goal.
That was the 54-yard field goal.
54-yarder they missed. Yeah.
Well, that thing shanked left hard.
It did.
It looked good when it left his leg. Yep. We had a Bryce Huff sighting as well, Harry. He did have a tackle in the game.
He did have a tackle. I saw that. Yeah.
So we're going to pour one out for him.
Nice of him to show up.
Doug P. coming in, Harry.
Oh, I know. And they're a mess. They lost again today.
The gong show.
Green Bay. But you talk about Nolan Smith. He's had 3 straight games with a sack now.
Yeah.
So
that's
nice
good.
Yeah,
real nice.
Yeah, I don't care about no points in the first quarter today. They got they got a field goal shortly after the second quarter started, so it really doesn't matter.
Yeah, I'm not complaining about a hammer toe on a supermodel today.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? The package is good. Yeah, there's a flaw. Not perfect, but damn, I feel really good about where the Eagles going.
Yeah.
Next week it's Jacksonville, and then after that you're looking at Dallas, the month of November, then Washington. And then the Rams to wrap up. What a month they have.
Rams with a big win on Thursday night, too.
Yeah.
Their season alive against Minnesota. But you talked about those uniforms. The Bengals stole another Penn State thing. They did the whiteout today. And I love the uniforms and the helmets.
Did you? You do? Oh, yeah. It just lacked for me. Like the black and the white on the helmet just didn't look right.
I love it. Yeah, I loved it. In fact, I was talking to my buddy Doc when the game began. I go, I love these uniforms.
Unreal. Yeah, they've got nothing original in Cincinnati other than WKRP.
And that Skyline chili, which is terrible, by the way. Have you ever had that?
I have not.
Oh, that's because there's no hockey team in Cincinnati. You haven't.
That's exactly right, Harry. And they got the Columbus Blue Jacket. That's as close as they get.
Right.
All right, that's going to wrap up our Eagles postcast, and we'll be back next week when the Eagles take on the Jacksonville Jaguars. Can they keep it going? Well, we'll find out. Everybody, thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. We'll talk to you next time on the Locked On Network Eagles postcast.